I was going to say, I thank God. I thank God that He saved me from hell. I thank God that He put me in the ministry. I thank God that He put me at New Life Baptist Church. Praise Him for it. Let's put some monuments up. Let's get out of comfort zone. Look here at Achan, his life. I know where he really doesn't really say that about it, but you know what? He saw the same things everybody else did. He saw what God can do in the life. Instead of going back to those monuments and saying, you know what, God's taking care of me, he got his eye on other things. He got his eye on other things instead of what God's done and what God can do. But you know what? It cost him greatly. It cost him greatly. He lost his life. Not only he lost his life, he lost his wife's life, his children's life, all his livestock was burned. Everything he owned, along with the things that he took, was burned up. But you know what? If he just waited on God, if he just went back to those monuments, realized what God's done in his life so far, you know what? God can take care of me. You know what would have happened? Here's what would have happened. Joshua chapter 8. Verse 1 says, And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise. Go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai and his people, and his city, and his land. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. See, even God's reminding them of what he's done in their life. Only the spoil thereof. See, they couldn't spoil the city of Jericho. It was cursed. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall you take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee in ambush for the city behind it. God once again provided for him and gave him a great victory. If Achan just waited and remembered what God did and said, you know what? I remember, maybe he was one of the ones that got bit in the wilderness. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe his wife did. And you see, you know what? I remember when in the wilderness and we was being bit by those snakes. And I looked up to that serpent and I lived. I didn't die as the others that died. You know what? And after that, God's provided food for us all through the wilderness. I've not had to get new shoes. Here we are. We come to the River Jordan and it's swelled beyond its banks and we cross on dry ground. And then we come to, and here we are at Jericho. It's a great walled city, and God brought the walls down for us just because we're obedient to Him. You know what? I'm not going to take those things. I'm just going to see what God has in store for me. You know what? I wonder if He had done that. No, I wonder, I almost could guarantee you He would have got way more from the spoils of Ai than He did from the spoils of Jericho. But you know what? If they hadn't put those monuments up, he wouldn't have had anything to go back to either. Start putting the monuments up, church, getting out of our comfort zone. You know what? There's some that's already prayed this morning. I appreciate that. But I wonder if there's others here this morning that may need to do business with God. Maybe you need to put some monuments up in your life. Becky, if you're able to play, please come to the piano. I think that's the message that God has for us.